A sister says, is the reward for women praying Tharaveeh at home more than men or women who go and pray in the masjid behind an imam, the reward of praying the whole night? Because of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, who said that the prayer of a woman is better than, or better at her home, better than even praying in my masjid. Now, this issue seems to cause a lot of confusion among women. First of all, we have a reward that was given to whomever prays in the masjid behind the imam until he's over during Taraweeh of Ramadan. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, إِنَّهُ مَنْ قَامَ مَعَ الْإِمَامِ حَتَّى يَنْصَرِفْ. He who stands in prayer with the imam until he concludes, meaning praying witr and giving salam, until he concludes his prayer, then Allah would grant him as if he prayed the whole night. So now, we lazy men think of it in terms of calculation. 1 + 1 = 2. If I pray behind the imam for 30 or 40 minutes, 11 rak'ahs of Taraweeh, then Allah would reward me as if I prayed from Isha till Fajr. That's one heck of an investment. So we usually opt for it. Now, this is for men and women. However, women are caught between a rock and a hard place. So the sister comes to me and says, Sheikh, I want ajr, I want reward. And if I go to the masjid, I'll be rewarded as if I prayed the full night. But my confusion is that the Prophet ﷺ said that a woman's prayer in her home is better than her prayer in my masjid. Which we know that one prayer in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ is equivalent or is better than 1,000 prayers elsewhere. So now, come on, how to do the math? First of all, do you believe that your prayer in your home is better than the prayer in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ? She says, yes. So I said to her, okay, then what do you want? She said, Sheikh, if I pray home, I have to pray at least 3 or 4 hours to compensate for the full night which I missed in the masjid. And I say, okay, why don't you pray in the masjid? She said, because the Prophet said it's better to pray home. Well, this is something in Allah's hands. What I feel and I know is that if you pray in the masjid, this is totally permissible and legit. It was the Prophet himself ﷺ who said, do not prevent women from attending salat in the masjid. He is the one who said that. Not only that, his own wives used to pray in the masjid. Whether it was Sauda, whether it was Aisha, whether it was Zainab, they all used to pray in the masjid with the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet had never told them, don't pray in the masjid, pray at your homes. He just told them what is best. Pray at homes. If you don't want to, it's okay. So what do you say, Sheikh? I say that if a woman is so eager for having this reward, and at the same time, she complains that she doesn't have enough time during the night. She has to care for her family, for her husband. She has to do the chores. She has to cook. She has to work if she is working in da'wah, etc. And all of this consumes a lot of her time. And if she wanted to pray 3 or 4 hours just to get great reward from Allah Azza wa Jal, the night is not enough. While praying 1 hour in the masjid would compensate for all of that. I would say it's up to her, let her go to the masjid. But if a woman does not have anything to do, and she's staying home without any obligations or commitment, in this case I would say to her, pray home. And the longer you do, the greater of reward Allah will grant you, as long as you anticipate the reward of not praying in the masjid with the congregation. Allah Azza wa Jal. A sister said,